Hi everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. Please help this channel out by pressing the like button, sharing this video, commenting, dialoguing. Those of you who reach out to me through like other electronic means like email, Instagram, thank you for copying and pasting the links to these videos and attaching them to emails and other electronic communication. It actually tells the YouTube algorithm that this is a good video that's worthy of consideration, and the ratings go up. So those of you who've been doing that, I can't thank you enough. In today's video, I'll be talking about Instagram real quick. There's a lot of companies that don't like me. I've been blocked a couple times. And towards the end of the video, we're gonna be talking about the security industry, in particular, Retaliation. Hey, what's up, Mike from the Professional Security Journal? Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you guys go to my channel and watch his videos. I'm sure it's been a while since he posted the video, but he's been a busy person, just like some of us have been, and just like some of us should be. I'm coming up with getting over a cough, so if I cough sniffle cease, please forgive me. So I am on Instagram. My screen name is The Firearms Trainer. The Firearms Trainer, Instagram. And I have gotten some security companies that block me. I've had some that threaten to sue me. Let's talk about that. So first off, if you're gonna sue me, right? You're going to spend a lot of... The only one that's going to win is the attorney, right? You're going to spend all this money on attorney fees. And then at the end of the day, you're going to get the $2,000 if that's even left. You have to remember that there's something called a newscaster or newsworthy privilege. That gives channels that are considered news media, that gives them a broad way of giving opinions over the media, over social media, over the news media outlets. If we didn't have that privilege, there wouldn't be CNN, right? There wouldn't be CBC. There wouldn't be Fox News. You wouldn't have all these channels, but you do have a legal privilege in almost all the states. Federally, you also, I believe, have a legal privilege. And when that privilege doesn't exist, basically what you don't want to do is give out defamatory information, right? And what's defamatory? Defamatory is basically, it's false information that puts a company or an organization or an individual in a negative light. Are some companies placed in a negative light? I guess, like some would argue yes, but is the information false, or is it opinionated information? So that's why I just find it amusing that you got people that are threatening to sue me if I don't take down content. Anyhow, Newton Patrol, they blocked me, and KG Agents blocked me. The most recent interactions I had with KG Agents is, and there's some other ones that blocked me too, I can't remember, but with KG Agents, I basically was giving them compliments, asking them if they have a PPO number, and if so, when did they get it? Guys, that's not, is that being disrespectful? If I ask you what your PPO number is or when did you get it, is that being disrespectful? Because if I'm a security company owner, right, and you ask me for my PPO number, I will be proud to give it to you because I earned it, right? And a company like KG, honestly, guys, if they reach out to me privately and say, hey, Sean, we saw that you reached out to us, and you're kind of putting us on the spotlight, is there any way that you can give us a couple months while we get our PPO license? Or hey, contact me and ask me how to get it done, right? Okay, yeah, no problem, cool. people that are willing to work with us, I'm willing to give the time. But people are so scared, right? They don't like the tips. They don't want the unwanted advice. I get it, but we're willing to work with anybody. And those of you who've been subscribed to this channel for some time, we work with a lot of security companies. I'm not gonna put it out there on public record that I know that they're licensed or not licensed, right? I'm just saying that if somebody reached out to me and they told me the circumstances, we'll give you some. How much time you need? You need 6 months? You need a year? Cool. Is there anything that I can do to help you get licensed? I mean, I've made like over 1,200 videos. I'm sure like 20 of those videos will guide you in the right direction. But all I'm asking is for you guys to work with me. I honestly don't care if you block me. Like, if you block me, I don't take it. I find it interesting. You block me. Hey, but it's a free rule. It's a private enterprise. I just ask you guys to ask yourself, why did they block Sean Sundell? Right? Why did they block Sean for? And guys, if I'm ever being disrespectful, then let me know. Like, why am I being disrespectful? And am I not telling the truth? Is there any clarifications that we need made? That's all I ask. So once again, I have an Instagram channel under the Firearms Trainer. Make sure you guys connect with me. I put a lot of exclusive information out there, especially if you are in the 2A community, the firearms instructor community. That's my hobby is firearms. Mike's is it's been a bit working multiple jobs. Just got off of 12 and we'll be going into transit tonight, 9 to 5 overnight. Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, no, that's definitely tough. Sorry guys for the cough. I worked graveyards last night and I got 3 hours of sleep. Like, I could not sleep at all. I woke up wide awake at 12 o'clock at noon and I just couldn't go to sleep. This graveyard shift is just crushing me. Joshua Rialto says, what was the news about the baton class refunds? I mean, you didn't watch the video. I'll break it down to you real fast. It's so there's some security companies out there offering a 4-hour class. BSIS requires an 8-hour renewal class for your baton permits. Baton permits that are under pre-AB 2515. So those of you who had your baton permits for like 3 years, 4 years, I think even 2 years ago, they're all going to be expired by December of 2025. Security companies, baton facilities, they keep advertising 4-hour class. It's not a 4-hour class, it's an 8-hour class. So my suggestion to you is to walk into these facilities and, number one, demand a refund. Or number two, just ask them to hook you up with a 4-hour class. I don't know if they're going to charge you. I mean, if they're charging you, so their baton permit class is, I don't even know how much they're going for, but let's just say it's $250 for a baton permit class. I mean, hell, I would charge $250, $300. I wouldn't go somewhere big charge $100. That's like ridiculous, right? And now the baton facilities, they don't have to purchase the baton permits. You have to pay the state now. But anyhow, let's just say a baton facility, for the initial permit, they're charging $300, right? And then for your 4-hour class, they charge $150, like half the price. I don't think it's unfair to ask them to charge you only $150, right, for the class. But to ask for a total refund, I would argue that's not fair. Some other people might say something else. But in the end, the baton facility is in the wrong. And they haven't been given a lot of clarity from the BSIS. And what I had to do is I had to research the Business Professions Code to see what it actually says, and it alluded to the SIS. The help desk was no help. They were the unhelpful desk, and they had to reach out to their policy and development arm, and then they got an answer to me like very fast, and they said it's 8 hours. Okay, so make sure that you guys ask for a refund, or you ask for that additional 4 hours of training. A baton facility, they can split the hours. So if it's an 8-hour course, they can give you 4 hours of credit like last month, and then add on another 4 hours of credit, and then maybe print out 2 certificates of completion. That's not a bad idea. If you're a baton facility and you're upset with me producing some of these videos, hey, reach out to me every once in a while. Let's touch bases. We don't have to be friends, but those who are in my inner network of trust, I reach out to them before I make some of these videos, because I have these security companies. Some legal effects sometimes with security training organizations. So hopefully, Joshua, I answered your question. Carlos says, hey, Sean, thanks for the content. Always look forward to your videos. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. Professional Security Journal says, Arcadia threatened me with defamation last year. LOL. That's crazy, because Arcadia Security didn't even threaten me with defamation. And, Mike, let me ask you this. What's the defense? I mean, it's an open-ended question. What's the defense to defamation of character? Well, the defense is that the information that you presented was true, right? It was true. And if it wasn't totally accurate, the question is, was it opinion? And did it fall under the newscaster or newsworthy privilege? Think about that, okay? Rude Boy 66. I haven't heard him for a while. Good to catch alive. Welcome, Rude Boy 66. Definitely welcome. So what we're going to talk about? Oh, we're going to talk about retaliation in the security field. So I've been talking to quite a bit of people over the past year, and it looks like there's a lot of retaliation in private security. So like if you report an unfit supervisor, you might be assigned to a post that's like 30 miles away or 20 miles away, or you may never be promoted within the company, or you might get a crappy assignment. TB's here. What's up? Hey, what's up? That is something that's very common in the private security sector. But I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've been working since, I think, volunteering at PetSmart at 15, I think. 15. And then got a paid job at 17. So I'm not like some of you guys who've been working since you're 10 or 12. I've been working for a long time. Every single job that I had, which is, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 in my lifetime, there's always jealous people, no matter where you go. I've worked at, let's see, 3 law enforcement agencies. And every agency that you go to, there's somebody that's going to stab you in the back. There's somebody that knows somebody, right? So if you were to report, done this, I could write a book on this. I reported a crooked officer before a couple times at another agency that I worked at. And guess what? Guess who heard the complaint? His drinking buddy, right? They're all drinking buddies over there. So a rookie that has like 3 months on the job, you think that somebody like a commander or a chief of police or higher up is going to believe the 3-month rookie or the 30-year veteran who's his drinking buddy? You see, it's my word against his word. My word doesn't mean a whole lot. So it doesn't matter where you go. And I know a lot of you guys want to jump to different security companies. It doesn't matter what security company you go to. There's always somebody that is going to retaliate. It's just a matter of like how you deal with them, like how you deal with that person. Now, if you're reporting these incidents to like upper management and really not doing nothing about it, remember, it's very common. But second, maybe you don't want to work there anymore. But I'll tell you, on the severity level, for me, it's the same. A police department, the severity level with retaliation is the same as a security company. Those are my personal experiences. The same goes with, like, I worked at an amusement park, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning toilets, right? The retaliation level is the same between a security company, a police department, and an amusement park. It doesn't matter where you go, okay? Now, what I'm going to recommend to employers is that you guys subscribe to kind of like a hotline, a 1-800 tip line, where you can report corporate abuse. You can report like gross waste of assets, like just something that's like severe policy violations. You can call a number, and your complaint will be remain anonymous. I think that would be great if these security companies out there, like the smaller ones, mid-sized ones, have kind of like even an ethics line, right? That they pay a certain amount of money towards this ethics line, and then an investigator from the ethics line or somebody that works there will contact the higher ups and say, hey, this is the problem that we're having in the workforce, and or at your place of employment, these are the facts. And then I think that there should be a thorough investigation, and I think that the employees should know the outcome. I'm not saying like to give specifics, because there's always like invasion of privacy issues, but at least say, hey, your complaint is sustained or it's not sustained. Something to that effect, just so that we know in this private security sector that our complaint was heard. Was heard of. I know that on the contract side, like county contract, state contract, federal contract, I believe that there's like a middle person, like an ethics abuse hotline, where you could contact the client, and then they can begin an investigation. I've seen that done on the Los Angeles County level, but I think that's what we need more of, right? And I think that if we have these types of measures in place, private security officers will feel a lot more comfortable reporting issues in the workplace. So, I mean, let's just face it. It's difficult, man. Like when you're complaining against a supervisor, you don't know who that supervisor knows. You don't know if that supervisor is best friends with the owner of the security company. You don't know if that supervisor is the son of the owner of the company. Well, actually, you would know, right? But you would be less inclined to complain, right? But if you're the security company and my kid was doing that to an employee, well, first off, I wouldn't want to be in a position where I have my kids working under me. There's a huge nepotism issue, but I think I would want to remove my own family member from that assignment, because what's going to end up happening is you have these supervisors that are allowing these conditions, like gross negligence, right? Corporate abuse. What I'm saying is like what I mean by corporate abuse is you might have some security officers that might steal the radios, right? They might take all the radios for the security company and use it for like an off-duty gig or like another gig. That's what I mean by corporate abuse, especially corporate abuse of assets, of equipment, right? There might be an abuse of like sick time policy, right? You got some people that call in sick when they're not, but then they show up to like a competitor's work site, in secondary or third employment, which that's not an issue, but you're using assets from one company to fulfill the needs of another company. It just isn't right. But this is what these hotlines are designed to do, these mechanisms. But yes, I agree that it's an upward battle. I've been there. Like I told you guys, I worked for like 3 law enforcement agencies, worked for numerous security companies. I'll tell you, there's always retaliation going on, and somebody knows somebody. And I'll tell you this, as a supervisor, so I've been a supervisor. I don't know if you guys heard my story before, but I got promoted again. I forgot when I get promoted. In July, like to permanent sergeant. I went from acting to permanent, scored number 1 on the testing process. But anyhow, on the police force, I was a supervisor, but I've always noticed that there are officers that are super friendly with me, like all the time, And I know I've worked some of these officers where they're not super friendly, but they might become super friendly, knowing that now I'm in a supervisory position. So I'll say this: if you are a supervisor or manager and everybody is friendly with you, nobody pulled you to the side. Hey, boss, I noticed that in briefing you said this. That's not correct. This is what's correct. Obviously, you pull them to the side so that they can save face. But I rarely have that happen to me, and that's as a supervisor. That's what I need. I need people to pull my chain sometimes and say, "Hey, dude, you're out of line." Not you're out of line. I'm out of line, right? Or just pull me the side, drag my collar, and explain like what wasn't correct on what I discussed. Like, we need people to do that, and the higher up you go, the less people are willing to do that. And you have to recognize that as a supervisor. Like, why is everybody nice to you? And look, if you're the chief of police or you're the security director, and you don't have one person, a manager or a first line supervisor that pulls you to the side sometimes and has a private discussion with you, explaining that you're wrong in something, I don't think that you're an effective leader. I don't think that you're an effective manager. I think that people are just there just to please you. And as a security company owner, I want people to pull my chain sometimes and say, hey, this can happen if you do A, B, or C. Like, I want that person, and I'm not going to retaliate. If you feel like you're going to be retaliated against, that's the corporate culture, right? It's not true open door policy. A lot of managers, supervisors, they keep saying, oh, I have an open door policy. Well, do you really? If you're telling me to utilize the chain of command, I don't think that you have an open door policy, because now I have to jump to this dude who doesn't have any integrity, right? And that person is a gatekeeper to you. So let me just go to the comments super fast. Oh, Blake. People need to take criticism. Sean, thanks for doing your videos on us. We really appreciate it. Hey, guys, let me say this. So I did a video on South Coast. Oh, crap. South Coast Public Safety. And I criticized them, and I gave them like kudos. And once again, I criticized their. I didn't realize that the owner of the security company was one of my customers. I did heavy criticism, and guess what? Like, they were all open arms for it, and I totally respect that security company. I totally do. I actually met Blake in person, stand-up guy, and I can't wait to train with him again. Again, we don't owe each other nothing, but I really like the fact that I criticized them openly. It wasn't a huge issue. I think they threw a bike in the trash or something like that, right? And then they're all open-armed about it, right? They're open ear about it. And maybe they made some adjustments. I don't know, based on my video. Maybe not. What matters the most is they accepted criticism. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Joshua says, thanks, Sean. Got my lifetime baton license in 01. Oh, yeah. Now I got to take every 2 years. Yep, it's a money grab. I hear you, sir. Yep, I got mine in 2000, I think. Hey, the security guard channel's here. I know of a few security companies that are starting to outsource the HR. Good. That way, issues are handled outside the house. It cuts down on any issues, and people can remain neutral. Thank you for your opinion, sir. Professional Security Journal says, when I was FAA, part of my IA duties was for the security contract investigations there within. There you go. Mario says, you got to let your team know that you don't need a bunch of yes men. Yes. Some supervisors tend to promote yes men more often than not. Yep. Also known as your, what's appropriate term? Brown nosers. That's not appropriate, for lack of a better term, right? It's not that the supervisor has nothing but good ideas. Yep. Mario says, just that the supervisors are yes men. I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. In my office, or where I work at, guys, like, I'm privileged where I work at my different gigs to reach up to the higher ups and explain what they're doing is wrong. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, and they listen. Like, I don't get demoted, I don't get screwed with. Um, they're all open ear about it, and they appreciate the conversation. So that's all I got, guys. Looking forward to the content, your comments, your dialogue. Take care, guys. I want to hear from you guys.